Here are 15 of the best Ask Reddit stories for today. I hope you enjoy and remember to subscribe. It really helps us out. We post new videos every day.
What exists, but can't be sensed with our five senses? The difference between an awkward silence and regular silence. Magnetism, extremely powerful, it saves us from the sun, but you can't tell it's there unless you have something to tell you. I work in an electric motor shop and have to stick my hand in plus 4,000 horsepower motors with dummy rotors to test them. I'm probably shooting blanks now. My second answer, infertility.
My husband has been making cornbread for me and our daughter every day this week. I finally asked why today. I effing love this man. I had kind of a crappy start to the week, but I didn't think he noticed. Our daughter is growing a new tooth and has been so grumpy, so it's been hard for both of us, and he started to bake cornbread. The first night, I was grateful and said so, but on the second, third, fourth day, it was kind of weirding me out. I thought he maybe heard about a neighborhood bake sale or something. But I asked him tonight after the 7th round of cornbread why he was making so much, and he walked to the bedroom and pulled a note out of our sock drawer. He said, on our 4th date you told me that when you were a nanny, you made cornbread for teething children because it was soft for their gums, and nice for you too. Then he told me that he wrote that down just in case. He has kept that note for 9 years. I love him so much.
What is the saddest thing you had to do to a friend? My closest friend suffered a massive aneurysm and almost simultaneous heart attack. She was probably dead by the time she hit the floor. Nonetheless, a nurse near her began immediate CPR, which the paramedics continued as she was airlifted to a large hospital in the city. As a registered organ donor, her body needed to be kept alive until all the relevant paperwork and legally required tests were performed. Her husband called me and I got to the hospital as fast as I could. Her family were grieving in the waiting room and unable to face going into the ward. I went in and sat with her. I got the nurse who had kindly washed her hair to snip half a dozen locks, which I had tied with red satin ribbon, red being her favorite color to wear, and placed in little organza bags to give to her family. With a little encouragement, some of her family were able to come in to say goodbye, but they were distraught and found it difficult to accept that this warm, breathing, sleeping woman with a simple tube coming out of her mouth was gone. Eventually the necessary legal documents were signed and then several doctors came in to perform the required tests to prove irrefutable death. Those tests are quite confronting, but I promised her family I wouldn't leave her alone while they were being carried out, so I sat on a chair at the foot of her bed through it all. I knew then she really was gone. The doctors finished and left, and I held her hand and kissed her forehead. I was able to reassure her family that she had indeed passed. She wasn't just my friend, she was the closest thing to family that I had.
What is the wackiest thing you've seen in a public bathroom? I was taking a dump at a movie theater and a little kid climbed under the stall and grabbed my foot. I screamed and kicked that kid so hard right in the face just out of sheer instinct. He cried. His dad said, "That's what you get, Gavin." A clogged urinal filled to the brim with piss, with a effing anaconda-sized turd spiral floating in it, in hypnotic circles. How a turd that size could be buoyant I have no idea. Olives. I was in a Berlin dive bar with some friends. In the bathroom, there was a vending machine, stocked with tin tapas. So I came back from the bathroom with a can of olives. When asked where I got them I just replied, bathroom. Not so much seen, rather heard. Walked into a bathroom and heard a man literally screaming and cursing his prostate while shitting. Not grunts, screams. It was at that moment that I started taking prostate health very seriously.
Guys of Reddit, where do you finish after j***ing off? Usually the same place I started. I'm not a wandering w***er. Start in the bedroom and see how far down the street you can get. Not a guy, but my ex would j*** off while sitting on the toilet and would lift the shower rug and finish on the floor and put the rug back over it. No wiping or cleaning, just straight up place the rug back in place over the mess. I had no idea until I complained about the discoloration of the shower rug and he told me. I left that dude soon after. Out the window. Damn, a bird shat on me. In tears usually. I helicopter at the moment of climax, so everywhere. On my stomach like a true gentleman. Scrolled down too far to get here. I pinch my foreskin then tuck it into my legs then waddle upstairs then drop it in the toilet. Edit, really wish I didn't say this but oh well. On my stomach and then I alligator roll onto my bed to clean it up. What the fuck? What is normal at 3 p.m., but terrifying at 3 a.m.? A kid's toy going off in a random room. Car pulling into your driveway. Tornado siren test. Guaranteed it's not a test at 3 a.m. Dog standing at the top of the stairs and barking at something on the main floor. The sound of a branch breaking when you're outside. A phone call from parents/relatives etc. The sound of an ice cream van. Children playing outside. Someone knocking on the door. A child laughing. The pile of clothes in my room. Those automatic air freshener sprays. The door opening. Looking in your bathroom mirror. Taking a walk in the woods alone. What's missing in your sex life? The sex. People who are good at flirting. What is your best flirting advice? If they look directly at you, while talking to their friend, it's a good sign. I read once that if someone looks at you after someone, doesn't have to be you, said something funny and everyone is laughing, they like you. From personal experience, it's true. Does their body turn towards you or away from you when you talk? Do they mirror your body language? Usually they have their back to me. What does that say? Small body language clues. If she puts her feet behind her ears, she probably likes you. Good at flirting also means recognizing when the other party isn't receptive. If they're answering briskly and killing conversation, cut your losses and move on. One time I got the courage to look at someone in the eyes and said, "I need one of those hugs that turn into fun." He laughed, haha, said, "Me too," then continued talking about what we were previously talking about. I thought about running face first into a wall. I remember going on 9 dates with a girl who just got out of a long relationship and just wanted to be friends, to which I had said, "Cool, let's just hang out then." One night she was dropping me off at my place after a movie. Turned the car off, put her arm on my headrest as we chatted before I got out. I was fully in the mindset that we were just friends, so I shook her hand. Good night. Rest in peace.
In parenting, how strict is too strict? I'm a 14-year-old girl. Here are the rules my parents set for me. I'm not allowed to shut or lock my bathroom door even while taking a shower. Must hand over my phone and laptop every week for them to check my texts, emails and photos. No Facebook, Instagram or Snapchat. No going out with friends without my mom present. Shower at 8 o'clock till 8:30 or they will come in and turn the water off. Must be asleep by 10 o'clock, it's 3:10 a.m. now. If caught awake they will check on me every 4 hours to make sure I am asleep. If caught twice a parent will sleep in bed with me for 3 days. Ask for permission before eating something. Mom chooses what I wear at all times. I have to tuck my mom in good night or she refuses to leave my room. Must ask permission before watching a TV show or movie. These are not all the rules but some I think you get the point. This is too strict. It makes life really boring and having these I have a overwhelming fear of breaking them that causes me to have panic attacks. Please if you are a parent let your child have a bit of freedom.
Which song is in your opinion 100% perfect?
Jesus don't fear the reaper, nor do the wind, the sun or the rain. He can be like they are. Come on, baby, don't fear the reaper. Baby, take my hand, don't fear the reaper. We'll be able.
My husband has been having sex with my sister. My sister was widowed 2 years ago with 2 kids. She has been depressed and suicidal. About 6 months ago my husband offered to take her 2 kids swimming once a week. About 4 to 5 months ago my sister's mood started improving. I knew my husband and sister were close. But recently I saw explicit messages from her on his phone. Reading through messages I realized he drops the kids home and once they sleep, they cuddle and have sex. The actual off my chest is I don't mind. For the first time in years my sister is back to her usual self. If I need to share my husband to get her back, I don't mind. I intentionally crank the AC up sometimes to get more cuddles out of my wife, she doesn't know. This is a practice I started not too long ago and it's paying off. My wife and I love to cuddle and we do it very often, but I would say I sometimes find myself not wanting to let go at all. Usually we cuddle to sleep and eventually take our own spaces during the night like any couple would do. My wife just feels cold a lot easier, so sometimes I crank the air con up while she's fast asleep to make the room colder and she'll eventually snuggle up to me in the most adorable ways for the extra warmth and it's the cutest thing ever. I haven't told her I do this and she has no idea as the AC doesn't have any temp display on the unit.
My husband is groping me while he's asleep. He's snoring, but every so often reaches for me. I have felt so worthless lately, a burden. I cannot keep up with daily tasks and I'm falling behind in projects that need to be done. Today I went with him when he purchased a new four-wheeler. We had a mishap and shattered his rear glass window while loading it. I know how to replace this, and I don't mind doing it, but I cannot stay on top of current needs as it is. I cannot even plan the process of it right now. I am failing. On the drive home I started shopping for the window and seal, but I was fighting tears because I know this is going to be such a struggle for me and it shouldn't be. Those thoughts only spiraled because this man and our children deserve the best of me. However, they aren't getting that. How could he love me? Why would he? I'm not the same person I was those years ago. I can't ever remember the routine of doing the kitchen right now. I shouldn't keep him locked in this marriage. I'm baggage now. I can't tell him where my head is. He shouldn't have to carry this on his mind with everything else he handles. It isn't as if any of this is his fault. But he's had a firm grip on me as I've typed this out. He's sleeping solid, slightly snoring. He can be anywhere in his dreams, but he's reaching for me. Even dead asleep he has grounded me and slowed all these spinning thoughts. He knows it's me lying next to him. I couldn't be more relieved and loved.
I think my girlfriend is getting bored of me because I'm not black. So I've been noticing that my girlfriend of 5 months is getting bored of me because the intercourse hasn't been that exciting and she's quiet most of the time when she's around me. The reason I think it has something to do with me being white is because she's always talking about her celebrity crushes, all black, and another reason is because when I decided to have a threesome with my girlfriend and my best friend James, she's been enjoying her time more with him. The three of us have been friends for a long time and we were pretty open-minded about it, so it wasn't anything new or weird. Every time he's inside her she screams his name and moans, but she isn't excited the same way when I'm doing it to her. And no, it's not about size because there isn't much difference between me and James. I'm not saying she's cheating on me with James because he's my childhood friend and he would tell me if she tried to, but this makes me jealous and kinda mad because it's not something that I can act on. Kindergarten teachers, what is the most hilariously inappropriate thing a kid you were teaching has asked/told you? I was doing story time in the library. It was the first week of December. Kids were sitting on the floor in front of me and a number of parents were standing back behind them. We had some time to kill, so I started talking with kids about what they wanted for Christmas. Just trying to feed info to parents. A little girl said she wanted a remote control butterfly. Another kid said, "There's no such thing." The first girl said, "Sure there is. They're purple. But I want a pink one." Mom, in the back, looked exasperated and turned her head. Well, I thought it was exasperation. Turns out, probably not. Found out, later, that purple butterfly is a sex toy. K-6 PE teacher here. I have too many of these stories, but I'll never forget Tinkle T, who I met during my master's internship. He peed. Often. One day he comes into class after recess covered in something wet. I thought he jumped in a puddle at recess. He said, "Teacher, I got something nasty on me." I asked what happened, and he said, "I went to the bathroom and my dingy didn't work right." He was literally soaked. Like, hair dripping wet into his eyes. Turns out he tried to pee with a tiny boner, looked right into it, and sprayed his whole body.